In this video, we're going to talk about top 50 horror movies in 2024. If you didn't subscribe our channel yet, please don't subscribe and don't like our video. You know what I mean, right? Our number 10 countdown is The Devil's Bath. It follows Agnes, a woman struggling with infertility and depression in a small village. The film opens with a woman throwing her baby off a waterfall, consumed by guilt, and then shifts to Agnes and her husband Wolf, starting a new life together. As Agnes struggles to conceive, her mental health deteriorates after receiving a severed finger from a mysterious dead woman. She becomes obsessed with the idea that the finger might help her get pregnant, isolating herself further. When Agnes becomes consumed by a tragic story of a mother who threw her child into a waterfall, she kills a young boy in a desperate act. In the end, facing execution, Agnes confesses to a priest and receives absolution. The townspeople, following an old ritual, collect her blood, believing it will protect them from sorrow. Our number 9 countdown is stop motion.
I want to go. I want to go.
It follows Ella, the daughter of acclaimed stop-motion animator Suzanne Blake, who must step in to complete her mother's film after Suzanne suffers a stroke. While living in a nearly empty apartment to finish the project, Ella meets a mysterious young girl who proposes a new story about a girl being pursued by a dark figure known as the Ash Man. Ella becomes increasingly obsessed with the girl's vision and starts making disturbing changes to the film, using unconventional materials for the puppets, including spoiled meat and animal parts. As Ella's mental state deteriorates, she finds herself conflicted between finishing the film and the toll it's taking on her. Her frustration grows when she learns her sister-in-law, Polly, has stolen her ideas for her own work. Eventually, Ella's fixation leads her to use her own flesh to complete the puppets, including a life-sized version of the Ashman. In the end, as the line between her film and reality blurs, Ella sacrifices herself to the Ashman in a final attempt to bring the story to life. Our number 8 countdown is The Substance.
Would you like to stop? Would you like to stop? Would you like to stop? Would you like to stop?
I'm fine.
It tells about Elizabeth Sparkle, a former Hollywood star, is dropped from her long-running TV show on her 50th birthday because of her age. After a car accident, she's introduced to a mysterious black market serum that promises to turn back time. Desperate, Elizabeth injects it, and a younger version of herself, Sue, is born. The catch? They must switch consciousness every week to keep their bodies alive. As Sue takes over Elizabeth's TV career, Elizabeth's life unravels, but as Sue ignores the strict schedule, Elizabeth rapidly ages. Tensions rise as the two women begin to hate each other. When Sue runs out of stabilizer fluid, Elizabeth's body is left horribly deformed. In a last-ditch attempt to end the cycle, Elizabeth tries to destroy Sue, but instead, chaos ensues. Sue, unable to keep up her youthful appearance, creates a grotesque new version of herself that wreaks havoc during a live broadcast. Our number 7 countdown is Mad S. It follows Romain, a young man on his way to a night of partying with his girlfriend, Anais. After picking up some product from his dealer, Romain pulls over to check on his father's car, only for a bandaged woman to jump into the passenger seat. She can't speak, but plays a recording suggesting she's escaped from a nearby facility. Things quickly spiral as she begins harming herself, covering Romain in blood. Shot in one continuous take, the film captures Romain's frantic attempts to deal with the situation while trying to clean up before his father returns. When the woman mysteriously disappears, Romain's confusion grows. Despite his mental state deteriorating, he continues his night out with Anais. But the party doesn't go as planned. Mads is a tense psychological thriller that keeps the audience on edge as Romain's reality starts to unravel. Our number 6 countdown is New Life.
Does Jessica know?
She believes she's on the run for murder.
Did anyone else know? Any of the other operatives?
It follows Jessica, a young woman on the run from a powerful and secretive organization. Elsa is an experienced operative working for this group, is sent to track her down. The film builds tension as Jessica tries to stay out of sight, evading surveillance and hiding in plain sight, with even the smallest mistake risking her capture. Elsa, though skilled in her work, is weary and dealing with a life-changing diagnosis, which adds a personal weight to her mission. As she pursues Jessica, she struggles with her disillusionment and the emotional toll of her situation. Meanwhile, Jessica travels alone, relying on the kindness of strangers to stay off the grid. As she moves through her journey, she reflects on her past and the decisions that led her to this point. Our number 5 countdown is Strange Darling. This is a dark thriller set in rural Hood River County, Oregon, where a woman known as the Lady, a serial killer, meets a man called the Demon. The two engage in a one-night encounter, during which the Lady deceives the Demon by drugging him with ketamine after they roleplay a murder scenario. As the Lady attempts to kill him, she discovers the Demon is a police officer. He survives and chases her as she flees, leaving a trail of violence behind. After a series of tense confrontations, the Lady ends up at the farmhouse of two doomsday preppers, where further chaos ensues. She manipulates the situation to her advantage, but eventually, she is captured by law enforcement. In a final confrontation, the Lady kills more people before being shot by a woman in self-defense as she tries to escape. The film concludes with her death, reflecting on the tragic and violent path she chose. Our number 4 countdown is In Flames. This is a Pakistani-Canadian supernatural horror drama film. It follows Samina, who's grieving her husband's death while trying to protect her daughter, Naz, from strange, creepy events. Samina starts having disturbing dreams and seeing weird things, which she thinks might be linked to her husband's past. As she digs deeper, she uncovers dark secrets and realizes there's a supernatural force at play. The film focuses on grief, trauma, and a mother's desperate need to protect her child. As things get worse, it's hard for Samina to tell what's real and what's just in her head. In Flames is a chilling emotional ride about family, loss, and facing terrifying forces. Our number 3 countdown is Infested. This is a French horror film. It tells about some smugglers in the desert mess with a spider nest using poison gas, and it goes terribly wrong. One of them gets bitten and killed, and the rest barely escape. Fast forward to Paris, where Caleb buys one of those deadly spiders, along with some earrings. He's dealing with drama, arguing with his sister, selling sneakers and all that. But things go crazy when the spider escapes, and his friend Tumani gets bitten by one in a sneaker and dies. Now there's a full-blown spider infestation in his building. Caleb and his friends try to survive as the spiders keep spreading. They fight with a racist neighbor, and people keep getting killed. Matthew sacrifices himself to slow the spiders down. In the end, Caleb and his sister Manon escape, but just barely. The whole neighborhood falls apart, and Caleb buries a childhood photo while reflecting on everything that happened. Our number 2 countdown is Oddity.
This is not real.
It follows Danny gets killed while fixing up her house, and her husband Ted seems innocent. But then Olin, a former patient of Ted's, gets murdered after trying to warn Danny about a creepy stranger in the house. A year later, Danny's twin sister, Darcy, who's blind and psychic, visits Ted. While Ted's gone, Darcy and his new girlfriend, Yana, freak out over a creepy mannequin that keeps moving. Yana finds weird stuff inside it, like photos and hair from Danny and Darcy, and sees Danny's ghost before running off. Turns out, Ted actually killed Danny with help from a guy named Ivan. Darcy figures it out and falls through a trapdoor, and Ivan gets killed by the mannequin. Ted tries to cover it up, but it's too late. At the end, Ted rings a cursed bell from Darcy's shop, and the ghost of a bellhop shows up. What happens next? You'll have to watch to find out. Our number 1 countdown is Late Night with the Devil.
Really disturbing and shocking. You get out there, Mr. Midnight.
In this movie, Jack Delroy's late-night show is struggling after his wife Madeline dies, so he does a spooky episode with a psychic, a skeptic, a parapsychologist, and a possessed girl named Lily. Things go off the rails fast. Christu, the psychic, has a vision about Jack's wife, gets sick, and dies. Lily gets possessed, and the demon reveals Jack made a deal with the devil to get fame, sacrificing his wife in the process. As chaos breaks out, Lily kills a bunch of people, and Jack realizes he's the one who caused all this. In the end, he stabs Lily live on TV, and as the cops show up, he realizes just how badly he messed up. Rest we will mention in our next video.